Welcome to TYT Sports, everybody. I'm Ben Mankewicz. That is Florida State quarterback Jameis Winston, student, scholar. Yesterday at the Student Union in Tallahassee, Winston got up on a table maybe, or a chair, or some piece of furniture and shouted the words, F her right in the P. Everyone thought it was hilarious. So now, Winston has now been suspended for the first half of Florida State's game Saturday against Clemson. It's a real game. They're playing Clemson. With no context given to this, that might seem like an extreme punishment, but there's a lot of context to be given to it. First, let's talk about what he said. What he said was what has become very popular on college campuses and around the country, and for those of us in our 40s, I had no idea what it means. I can't even tell you what a meme is. But it was a video that went viral and then became a meme. And it is based on this video, which seems, what you're about to see seems incredibly real. It seems like a local news report and a reporter not realizing he was on, or in an editing error saying things related to a story about the search for a missing 20-year-old girl. Here's the video.
Oh, I don't care if she's 20. Hell, I'd fuck her. You can't say you wouldn't fuck her. Maybe that's what I'll do when they find her. I'll go and fuck her. Fuck her right in her pussy.
All right, well, we definitely apologize for that editing error in that story.
The anchor's reaction is priceless. Here's the thing, it's fake. That never happened. Obviously, that makes it slightly funny. Perhaps certainly politically incorrect, but a little bit funny. Anyway, this apparently became, as I said, a viral video sensation, and that's what motivated Jameis Winston to get up on the table and start yelling these things, and start yelling this thing. It caused a really wonderful stream of tweets from people at Florida State who said things like, today I walked by some big guy who kept saying, F her right in the, turns out it was Jameis Winston. Another guy, Jameis Winston standing on a table in the middle of campus screaming the thing. In other news, I saw Jameis Winston standing on random shit screaming, fucker. So it goes on like that. Now here's why the context is needed. There's one commenter on this page at Deadspin. And the commenter, who's calling himself Mattingly's Sideburns, says this. People knew it was Winston when they noticed that nearby FSU campus police were looking the other way. Now that's funny. So Jameis Winston has been accused of sexual assault. Ultimately not charged, but there was a serious investigation by a apparently serious prosecutor. However, there was significant evidence that at the time the accusation was made, police in Tallahassee, Florida State Police, did not respond with any degree of urgency. It may well be that Winston didn't do it. He's not charged, but nonetheless, it doesn't appear that anyone took it very seriously. And a lot of evidence that, hey man, there was efforts made to protect the best player on the best team in the country, the Heisman Trophy winner. So he's also stole some, crab legs or lobster or something, seafood from a supermarket. So the issue then is, given that history, if you're Jameis Winston, and even if you didn't do it, the fact that a woman has accused you of doing this means you can't stand up on a table in the student union and yell that. It shows that you sort of have no sense of how your responsibilities changed after this accusation. So given that, I think a half-game suspension, which he got, is actually too little, but at least it's something. And I thought that I would be joined by nearly everyone in believing this, because again, he was accused of committing as heinous a crime that you can think of, short of murder. And there's a woman who believes she was a victim, and prosecutors, by the way, who didn't say he didn't do it, who just said they can't prosecute it. So take that seriously. And I thought, therefore, a suspension of a game or two was an easy call to make. A half-game suspension seems like, hey, man, it's Clemson. We can't give them up for the whole game. But it turns out I was not necessarily alone on the new TYT podcast Cenk Uygur and I are doing Old School. We went to the TYT Supreme Court with J.R. Jackson, Jesus Godoy, and Malcolm Fleischer. And here's how the vote went on whether he should be suspended.
Quick vote, should he have been suspended for half a year? We're not going to do a poll on it. I mean, half a game.
Half a game.
Yeah. J.R. Jesus, thoughts?
No. I mean, no, obviously the same thing with the NFL thing. The fact that it made news, now they have to, so they don't look bad. They don't actually care either. That's why it's a half.
First half. But,
yeah, I know, right?
Okay, but forget
so,
what
I mean, come on, that's almost dispositive right
okay,
there.
But in a just world where they do care, should they suspend? Is it the right thing to do, whatever the motivation?
I overwhelmingly vote no.
Yeah, no. It doesn't connect. It doesn't. They don't. The two things don't connect.
So you say let him play?
Yeah.
Like, is he not allowed to have fun anymore? He's not, or is he allowed to have sex anymore?
He's not allowed to stand up as a football player and yell "fucker" right in the pussy in the student union.
Considering his history with the sexual assault or the rape charge.
Yeah, that's why he's saying. Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
right, yes,
But
like,
nonetheless, you're outvoted 2-1 so far. There's no way. Okay, go ahead. No. Jesus, let me not bias you. Go ahead.
No, I'm with Ben.
These
guys,
in a shocker!
He's still
in
in
a
college.
shocker! All right, so tiebreaker, unprecedented. First time ever tiebreaker for Malcolm Fleshner. Judge Fleshner, which way do you rule?
I would say he had to throw with his left hand. I mean, half a game is such a bullshit suspension, but actually, I'm with Jank. I don't think you suspend him. I don't think he broke the rules. What rule did he break?
Fucking suck up, you are.
No,
Jesus
What
Christ.
rule did he break?
This guy would rather punch me in the face than compliment me. Okay.
That is true.
So I lose 3-2. I'm stunned. I thought I had it in the bag. I can't believe Malcolm stabbed me in the back like that. He's just suck up. But Jason, you don't think he should be suspended by this? You're still maintaining that argument? Jason Rubin, our TYT sports producer?
It's one end of the spectrum or the other. You can't suspend a guy for half a game. To me, it doesn't show anything. Either suspend him for a longer time, 4 games, 5 games.
Okay, so make a call. Should he be
or
suspended
don't
for a
suspend
game
him
or
at
two?
all. Yes, he's a bad person, and he's in the spotlight, and he's setting an example on campus and for Florida State. But no, he should not be suspended for just the act of standing up on a table and saying.
But he's not like everybody else. He's had these things against him. And at some point, it's not about punishing him. But this is a college kid. In these places, this coach, I mean, look, we all know that most of these kids, the elite athletes, they don't really have to go to class. They don't really have the idea of a student athlete is often a farce. But here's who is his teacher, his coach. And this is an opportunity to teach a young man who can stand for some teaching. I don't know what happened with the girl, but I know it was serious. And I know that they should act like it's serious. And the lesson here for him is that, hey, this is serious business. Conduct yourself as if you need to watch what you're doing because of what happened. This is a teaching moment, and you teach him by suspending him, not forever or a game or two. If another player who'd never had any issue get up and did it, I would say to him, hey, never do that again. Never, ever do that again, but I wouldn't suspend it. But Jameis Winston, obviously, at some point, your previous behavior impacts impacts the prism through which we view your future behavior.
And you made the point, also, I mean, he's only hurting himself here. Like, his draft stock going to fall. I mean, you said if you were a manager or a coach, you would not want Jameis Winston on your team.
Not unless he shows proper contrition and a sense that he's learning something. And now we've had 3 incidents, and it worries me because he seems like a decent guy, but I don't frickin' know. We all think John Wayne was a cowboy. He just played Cowboys. So anyway, he did apologize, and he did take responsibility for it. Here's that.
First of all, I just want to apologize to the university, to my coaches, and to my teammates. I'm not a me person, but in that situation, that was a selfish act, and that's not how you do things around here. So I really want to apologize to my teammates because I have now made a selfish act for them, and that's all. You know, you got to overcome adversity, and that's one thing at Florida State we do. We're going to overcome adversity. And when I do get my opportunity to play, I'm going to do everything that I can because I have to accept that. That's going to eat me up because I want to be out there on the field. You understand what I'm saying? I want to be out there on the field with my team. But I did something, so I got to accept my consequences, you know, and I'm going to apologize to my team. You know, so we're not going to think about that because we don't think about negative things. We're going to think about moving forward and winning the game.
Thanks to TMZ Sports for that. The context of this matters, and the context through the football world has been shaken to its core in the last 2 weeks matters. Look, I got it. This guy didn't, this is not a terrible, terrible thing he did. But there are people out there, probably like me, even in college, who don't know what this means. And instead, it's just the most famous person at Florida State saying, F her right in the... So, like, that matters. And you don't need to apologize to your teammates, too. I mean, look, if I'd been in charge of him, I would have said, and I apologize to any women out there who didn't know that this is a joke and I meant it like that, and it's just not the kind of thing you should shout in a public place. I wasn't just with my friends in my dorm room. So it was a 6 on the apology, but I got it. I don't want to ruin this guy's career. I'm just saying this is 3 things now. And the first one, the big one, the accusation of sexual assault, it should, true or not, shake him to his core about how he should conduct his business in the future, and it doesn't appear that it's done that. And now they've sort of allowed it to slip by without an opportunity to literally shake him themselves. So I'm a little disappointed in Florida State. And who cares whether I'm disappointed in Jameis Winston, but I hope he learns something. I hope he gets his act together. He's a terrific player, and you hear him talk, and he seems like a likable guy, but this is 3 things.